Welcome, everyone, to another episode of AIME's Grow and Get It. I'm Tom Ahles, President of Growth here at AIME. Today, I get to host a friend of mine, a leader in the industry, Lisa Lund, who's president owner of the Lund Mortgage Team in beautiful Arizona. Lisa, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Tom. Appreciate it. I'm excited to be
Yeah,
here.
always good to have a conversation with you, as I know, for one, I get to see you I saw you at UWM Live. You're always at Fuse. You really, are a staple in our industry for a lot of the things you do. And it's kind of why I asked if you would show up today and give 10 minutes of your time to our team, is you have focused for quite a long time on using radio advertising as one of the main sources of lead generation. Is that correct?
Yes, over 23 years now. We've been on since we started on radio.
Wow. Now, do you use the same radio station? Do you vary and jump from one station to the other, or how does that look?
So the original station that we started on, we're still on. They've been the longest, and since then we've added stations to that. So we've grown our presence on the radio, and
Yep.
for us, it's mostly talk radio. And we do the live endorsements has been key for us.
That's awesome. So someone's listening to the radio show. Obviously, for the majority of, I would say, originators in this industry, especially the broker channel on those that are successful, it's very relationship driven, right? So I know that you've created a ton of relationships from really going client direct. How is that played? I mean, Tom, give me kind of the rundown on how that works for you.
So, consumer direct, you can send whatever message you want to send. So, typically, when you go consumer direct, we were a huge refinance shop. And we saw, years ago, okay, everyone needs to pivot to purchases. So you're kind of directing what you want to send out to the community. So we started about 5 or 6 years ago saying, call us first. Before you contact a realtor, before you look online at homes, that's the sexy part of the transaction or the exciting part. You
Yes.
need to know how much home you can afford. So we wanted to direct the consumer to us first. And so we were able to use our radio to really change the narrative there. And in contacting us first, we can kind of control the whole process of it. We can actually now hand out leads to realtors if they're not working with someone, or we get to know new realtors if they already have one that they're working with. But we're able to qualify them first, get in front of them before they're starting to look at homes, which has been huge and important for us.
Oh, that's massive. And to even have the value proposition of, handing a realtor a lead, as I'm sure for me, it doesn't happen that often, maybe one or two a quarter. But then those agents normally return two or three times that amount back to you, because most loan officers are not only not able to do that, but they don't, right? Um, so let me ask you, on a monthly basis, how many calls? Because it has to be, I mean, the one thing I know, if you have ad spend on radio or video, availability is key, right?
Mhm.
So for like the infrastructure on your team, somebody's listening to the radio, are they pushing them more towards calling in or directing them to your website? What is the main call to action for you?
So both, but we used to see, so it's evolved over time like anything else, right? With technology now, we're seeing more going to our website, which has been very important. And so that's why we use lead pops. And so with directing them to our website, they're actually able to go on and set appointments now with our loan officers. So they can go on and they can select an appointment that goes on to our calendars and set it up with a loan officer for a time to speak. Now, we do have our phones open as well. We used to mainly get in calls, and you would see the phones ring about within 8 minutes of our ad playing. But
Yeah.
now, people hear the ads whether we're on in the morning or afternoon, and they want to go to our website later on because maybe they're driving or whatever it is. So we're seeing a lot more action through the website, which has been great because now they can go online if they want to. They can actually either do an application or they can set an appointment to talk to one of our loan officers
That's beautiful. So you use like a Calendly link that then syncs with your loan
with our
officer.
Outlook.
That makes sense, because then at least they know they have something set in place to make sure that you can execute on it. So, obviously, to run a system like you do, you have to have really good technology and make sure it works properly. What would you say is the biggest system or tool that you're using to help make sure that you're capturing the revenue for the money you're spending on advertising?
Our websites run through lead pops, and because that we're consumer direct, it's been a really great tool for us, as well as our CRM, our calendars, and we use Arrive as well. So kind of all working together, as well as our loan officers when the calendar thing has been huge for us because our loan officers can come in, they know when they have their appointments set with their clients, and we're available all the time. And it's really helped us capture our leads because the appointments can be any time of day or night, even weekends. We have appointments set, and we can make sure they're spread out evenly between our loan officers, and we're not missing any of those clients.
Wow. So for someone that's maybe considering it, like I've done radio before, and I have to be honest with you, I failed at it, right? And I think
Mhm,
the reason I failed at it was consistency, right? When you
mhm.
look at most things, especially from a marketing standpoint, I know it's been some time for you because you've been doing this for quite a while. Like you said, you used to do it for refinance, pivoted to purchase. What would you expect like the natural time to be if an originator, a broker owner said, I really like this. I'm going to go in and I'm going to spend 20 or 30K a month on radio advertising, right? What type of commitment should they have walking into that?
At least 6 months to a year. So I say don't ever do radio unless you can at least have the money set aside for at least 6 months. And then also know your audience and what you're talking about. We've been on the radio 23 years. We don't talk about interest rates, we don't talk about products. We talk about who we are and why you want to work with us, as well as, getting fully pre-qualified, our client success stories, why we are who we are and what sets us apart from other places. So we don't talk rates, we don't talk about that. It's getting them to know us as a small family owned lender and why they want to work with us, and then talking about our success stories with clients as well.
Yeah,
But
that's
I would
huge. I
say,
think even on social media, it's one of the things I've tried to tell my team. It's like share your success stories. That is a way to build reputation without you necessarily, you're talking about yourself a little bit, but it's the fact where people want to know, right? When
yeah,
you're getting
they
on the
want to know
radio,
who you are.
yeah, I mean that's awesome. No wonder why it's working. So 6 months to a year to be able to really start to build that brand recognition for you in that first 6 months to a year. I mean, how I don't know. Are you looking to break even? Is it a loss leader to start off? I want to be able to help prepare our audience as they look at this and say, okay, I could do this. I mean, are you getting anything the first couple of months? Would you say by doing the advertising?
Yes, you're going to get calls. And so, one of the cool things that we started doing that I wanted to talk about today, because you can do this with any type of advertising that you're paying for, whether it's Facebook, whether it's social, whether it's radio, any type of things, is we were getting a lot of calls in and we were doing a lot of pre qualification. So, yes, you're going to get the calls in. Is it going to be an ROI right away? Are they ready to go now? Or are they ready to go in 6 months? But I look at every lead as a valuable lead, whether they're ready to go now or later. And if you have a great CRM in place to stay in front of them, which we've always depended on our CRM, we use Whiteboard, which is now switching over.
Yep.
But any kind of
Surefire,
CRM,
right?
I think it starts with an A now. I can get that to you,
Not a
but
big deal. I
they
know
were
we have a
bought
couple
out.
of team members that use Whiteboard, and I thought it went to Surefire or something else. But so
Yeah, I
that's the
think.
CRM that you're using to track the follow up for the ones that are not right now, but you're still obviously you paid for that contact.
Yes. And so one other thing that we've kind of decided to implement this year, because I know a lot of people are doing a ton of prequels, no matter where you're getting it from agents or from wherever, is how when you first pre-qualify someone and they're ready to go look for a home, they're excited, right?
Yes,
They're
very
happy over the moon. So we want to keep that excitement throughout because sometimes they may not find a home right away. We have low inventory that's been talked about all over the industry. So what can you do to help them keep them excited, stay in front of them and stay in front of the realtors too, especially if it's a realtor that you don't have a relationship with yet.
right.
So when they pre-qualify, we send them out in the mail a bunch of swag with a pre-qualification certificate. It makes them feel good about what they're pre-qualified for, and then a bunch of Lund Mortgage Team swag that they can get,
Yeah.
t-shirts and notebooks and calendars and fun stuff. So yes, they talk to you, you get pre-qualified. Within a week, they get something mailed to them. And then we also started implementing calling our pre-quals that haven't yet got a contract every week. And not only are we checking in with them, we're also checking in with their realtor partners. And it's more of a conversation of, hey, how's it going? how's the house hunting going? What are you seeing? How are you feeling? Is there anything we can help you with? Has anything changed since we pre-qualified you if it's been longer, a month? But really staying in front of them, because that's a paid lead. Whether you're paying for it through social, you're doing realtor events that you pay for, or radio like
Yep.
ourselves, is you want to make sure you're capturing the most out of your leads that you can get. Instead of just pre-qualifying people, putting them in your CRM and forgetting about them, you want to keep that human touch and let them know you're thinking about them and asking them how market going. It gives you great insight as well. And then
Yep.
calling the realtors like, hey, I know I just talked to Tom over here and they said, they've looked at a few houses, but it's just not quite right. Well, how are you seeing the market go? And just really talk to those realtors. And what are you foreseeing? Do you have any other clients that we can help you out with? Here's some new products, that we are seeing the 1% down or whatever it
Yeah.
may be. But just making those weekly calls and staying in front of your pre-quals may bring you business that you didn't even know about.
100%, 100%. You're staying top of mind. You're keeping them captive. And I really love the idea that a week after that they even inquire, you're sending something out. Now, is that automated, or do you have something to where you have a team member that's their job weekly? How do you execute on that?
Yeah, so our receptionist is the one who does it. So once in our system and arrive, we can hit it's in pre-qual status. They get an email. They know that they're pre-qualified. She's sending that out. It's a personalized letter with a certificate, all of our contact information with the loan officer's business cards, as well as a bunch of fun swag that it will remind them of us. Like, hey, we're here for you. We've
Yeah.
pre-qualified you. If you need anything, we're still here.
Wow. I mean, there's no wonder why you're so successful, right? You've got a great business plan and you execute on everything that you're saying. And I really appreciate you being here. I know, for one, I've seen the business that you and Matt do, your team does. You guys really kick ass, and I like it. I like to see people winning, especially when it's due to hard work like you're doing and betting on yourself. So I appreciate it. If anyone has a question, I don't want to flood you because I know you're busy. If somebody maybe has a question about doing some radio advertising, hopefully they can shoot you a DM and just connect with you to get some basic numbers. I know for me, like I said, I did it for 6 months, but I didn't stick with it. And I'll tell you the mistake I made. And I literally, this is why I love doing these calls. Everything was about rate, right? It wasn't necessarily about exactly, my recipe prior was doing exactly what you said, like on social, sharing success stories. Here was a denial with 3 other denials, and here's our success story. That is what attracts people. So really good. I earmarked that one. I'd be writing notes if I wasn't hosting the interview, but I appreciate you, Lisa. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you, AIME, for showing up today for another episode of AIME's Grow and Get It. We're here every Monday, noon Eastern, in the Brokers Are Better Facebook group. If you're looking for some new information, something to maybe turn up the dial a little and get more business, check out our YouTube page at AIME National, as you have all of our past guests on there as well. We'll look forward to seeing you at Fuse, which is, believe it or not that far away. So really looking forward to it. I don't know if you play golf. I've seen you golfing. We need to get you in the golf game, Miss Lisa Lund.
Yes, I need to. We just had my dad's charity golf tournament this weekend, so it was a lot of fun and it was great. A little hot, but I don't mind the heat.
Yeah, well, Arizona. I mean, I'm in Minnesota, so I guess it was really hot here too. It finally broke 80 for the first time this year. We'll have 4 of those. But thank you again. Hope everyone has a great week, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.